Sorry, Claudia.
Do you think that it's acceptable that babies as young as 3 were left in houses on their own without adult supervision when the police raided the gang houses in Opotiki and extended family members were not able to get access to those children for several hours?
Well, what I think is utterly unacceptable is the pain and suffering that gang members wrought on New Zealanders. And I think what's utterly unacceptable is that they want to take all the rights of being a Kiwi and all the freedoms that comes with that, but they're not prepared to take the responsibilities and the duties that they have to each other and to the country. So we make no apologies for being tough on gangs, period.
You find it's acceptable that the police would allow children to be unaccompanied in those households, witness their grandmothers and their mothers being taken away in handcuffs and their extended family not being able to...
Well, what I'd say is what is unacceptable is what the behaviour from gang members are, and we're going to be very tough on that. Sorry, guys, let's go, and we'll go down to Mark first.
Are the children in that scenario responsible for whatever they're...
No, clearly that's not what we want to see happen, and that would be great if the children could be better looked after. But actually the reality is we are going to be tough on gangs, and I make no apologies for that. We are going to harass gangs. We're going to make their life very difficult, and we're sending a message very strongly that that is not an option for you. That is not a good pathway for you to live a great life. And gang members can't take the rights and not have the responsibilities, and that's going to stop. Yes.
A 3-year-old baby was unable to be picked up by an extended family member for several hours in a household where they witnessed their grandmother and mother being taken away.
And that's really, really tragic. And I just said to you before, that's not acceptable. I get that, but equally, what's not acceptable? Yep, but what's also not acceptable, I've said that, but what is also not acceptable, I want you to be really clear about this, is the gang behaviour is utterly unacceptable. And that is, we have 1/4% of our population in gangs, driving almost 20% of our violent crime in this country. That is unacceptable. We said we would come down on violent crime, and that is why we're being tough on gangs. Patches, assaulting, consorting, aggravating factors, illegal guns, that's what we're going after, and that's what the police will have new powers to deal with from the end of the month.
Is a 3-year-old child
I fully agree.
responsible for that violence, for those weapons?
Incredibly challenging, really unacceptable. Get it. You got it. But also what's unacceptable on the other side of the equation is the behaviour of gang members.
Have you asked any questions about whether that is the case, whether a 3-year-old was left in the house by themselves?
I have seen some reports.
Prime Minister, are you going to ensure that a situation like that never happens again in the future if you do like a raid or something like that?
Well, the police will take operational decisions and they will make sure that they're doing the best that they possibly can.
Prime Minister, why do you think people are going to switch from cigarettes to heated tobacco products?
Well, we really want to be able to make sure that we're giving people as many options as possible to get away from cigarette smoking. What you've seen in New Zealand is a tremendous success over many decades now. We have some of the lowest daily smoking rates of developed countries on earth. We've got a bit more to do as we go from 6.8% down to the 5% smoke-free target. That will be increasingly harder and tougher as we work towards it. But providing alternatives for people is a good thing.
A top official at the Ministry of Health looked at the independent advice that Casey Costello put forward to justify that tax break for heated tobacco products. They said it was selective, it was outdated, and they said most of her advice was crap. Do you think the quality of the information she is bringing to Cabinet is up to scratch?
Yeah, I can tell you that Minister is very, very focused on making sure she lowers daily smoking rates and delivers on smoke-free 2025.